A very good evening to you all. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, Patricia and David, on this rather nasty evening here at Gulf Harbour. But it's 20 degrees, that's the good part. But we've had it grey and westerly wind all day. It's northwest now, 15 to 20. The bar is plunging as we've got a low to our south and various fronts coming at us overnight. 1011.7. And it's about 90% cloud cover at the moment, and even the tuis are struggling against the wind to get to my feeder. I notice outside they look a bit distressed about the whole business. Yeah, just not a very nice day here at all, but we'll see where our boats are. What did cheer us up was a photo that came through from Y2K. They had entered Funafuti today, and without much ado, they anchored and Max was floating in the water 32 degrees. Can you believe it? 32 degrees. So for those of you who know Funafuti, they came in the Southeast Passage at Tiava Puapua. Nice wide pass through, plenty of water under the keel, and now they're anchored and enjoying. They might even come up shortly. Anyway, a couple of boats are very close to home, if not home. So let's go straight into it. Tamariki, Gulf Harbour. Yeah, I'm surprised you can hear me with being so close, Peter. Good afternoon to you. And while you can copy me, just the tides for Opua tomorrow, 3:23 low tide, 3:23 low tide, 9:46 high tide, 9:46 high tide. And you can calculate the rest. And let's talk about the weather first before you come in. The Brett forecast for tomorrow is westerly 20 knots, easing to variable 10 in the morning, southwest 15, developing in the afternoon, moderate sea easing, poor visibility in morning rain. We're going to get a similar event here. Peter on Tamariki, Peter and Midge, go ahead, over.
I've sent you an email with all the details on it. I have to close the computer. Okay.
Okay, I've been checking emails and nothing's come through. Snail mail is often really, really slow depending on the station that you use. I keep meaning to ask which station you do use, but no, nothing has come through, Peter. Over.
From here to Australia and back to you.
Okay, well, I've got you at about 33 and 176. What are your current conditions? Over.
We've got a very light westerly. We're sailing at the moment at about 4 knots. Course about 200. It's very pleasant. Just before.
Well, it does sound pretty pleasant. That's really nice considering. Let me tell you what the Met Service had to say about today. They said that today was going to be northwest 25. So that's very interesting that it's much nicer than that for Tamariki. And he's very hesitant to tell me his position. So I'm going to just look it up here. And, oh no, this was an hour, 40 minutes ago, so that's no good. Give me your position, please, Peter. Over.
Just wait one, please.
Roger, roger. And by the way, if Arca is listening, Ted is going to have his VHF on, so you can have a chat on your way in. So just listening for Tamariki's position at the moment.
Yeah, our position is 3402, 449,
Okay, we have Tamariki at 3402 south, 17638 east, with light westerlies, which is good, but they are sailing 4 knots on a course of 200 true. So what time are you going to hit the customs dock, Peter? Over.
We think we're about 30 odd hours from now. If the wind drops, we'll just go around the boat here.
Oh, okay. So you're going to do the classical approach with as much sailing as you can. So another 30 hours. Okay, I had you coming in tomorrow. So that's no good. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, Peter. Anything else? I presume all is well, but you're probably running a little short of fuel. Over.
Yes, that's why we're trying to get a bit of scrap so we can make sure we do get there. But thank you very, very, very much.
Okay, let me tell you the Thursday weather. The Thursday weather is southwest 10, southwest 10, and the Thursday tides are a low tide at 4:07, low tide Thursday 4:07, high tide 10:31, 10:31, and this is Opua. Yeah, I had just a sneaky suspicion you might decided to go into further down the track, but obviously not. Opua is the spot for you guys. All right, we'll clear with you. I wonder if we will get Aka Gulf Harbour. No, nothing heard from Aka there. And just by the way, the single hander one step beyond is at about 3042 and 16904 sailing. So it looks like he's doing pretty well now. Okay, let's stick with the boats coming south. Rubicon Gulf Harbour. Well, things are not all that strong tonight. I'm just going to give you a bit more AF gain here. And go ahead, please. Oh, yep. Doesn't like to do things when I'm actually on the radio here. But yeah, go ahead. Over. Okay, and you're going to curse me for this, but I will need your position and course again. I have actually managed to get you coming through quite well with the preamp on, Elizabeth, but need you to start again because I just don't think I've got it correct. Over. That's the problem I'm having. What is the course, please?
215.
Okay, got it. 215 true, 6 knots, southeast swell of 1.5 meters, 50% cloud cover, and the wind speed and direction, please. Was that 15 from east southeast? Over. Roger. Boy, it's difficult tonight. It's just not very strong. Okay, and we're meant to have reasonable conditions, but I noticed that Tamariki was down as well, strength-wise. Okay, I think we've got all of that. You got any comments for them tomorrow? No, he hasn't. Nothing much more. It's just a reasonable passage you guys have got. Nothing exciting, which is good. So have a good night and hope all is well. And you'll be eating that tuna, I presume. Okay, actually, you're the only ones that I've heard have caught a fish on this particular passage. Oh no, I think Tamariki did. All right, let's see if we've got Sperari, Gulf Harbour. Oh, I've got much better copy on you. It looks like the more distance, the better. And you seem to be going well. And yeah, not too bad a course at all. Go ahead, Sergio.
Okay, our position tonight is 04 degrees, 28 minutes north, and 153 degrees, 28 minutes west. Our course is 602, and the speed is about 5 knots. Speed is 5 knots. The current condition is overcast. We have some little falls today, and we got a mix of swells which makes the whole thing quite uncomfortable, but it's a little bit better tonight. So back to you.
Yep, David said, oh, well, they're into the convergence zone now. Sperari is at 4 degrees 28 north, 153 degrees 28 west. On a course of 060 true at 5 knots. Overcast, a little squally, mixture of swell, so not all that comfortable, but they're getting through it. I'll just pass the microphone.
Just lost their. No. Sorry about that. I just lost.
Sweetie, they can't hear you if you haven't got the microphone.
I don't have it.
Okay, he's just lost everything or something like that on the screen, and he's feeling a bit grumpy by the sound of it. So I will not be passing the microphone to my Met man here, but I think from what I heard, that means, oh no, I've taken it off my screen too. That's a bit of a nuisance. Yeah, he just says he wants a minute. Well, that's good. I will just tell the other people about well, Rubicon's fast approaching the other group that's in front of them, so they're doing pretty well. And we haven't heard from Arca tonight. It could very well be that Arca is in. I'll just see, stand by Sergio, he's busy doing battle with the computer. Y2K, are you out of the bath water that surrounds you, Max? Over. No, he says on streaming that he can't hear us. Absolutely nothing. Nada. A big hi to Rubicon from Y2K. And you probably have been to Funafuti. We have not, but at 32 degrees water does sound rather lovely. Although 32 degrees in the air, you're not really going to cool down, are you, if you jump in the water? But he did look rather relaxed with a drink in his hand, floating in that very big lagoon inside Funafuti. Good time to arrive, and he hasn't commented on any of the check-in procedures, so I presume that will be tomorrow. All right, I'm going to see if I can get the microphone back to the grump.
Well, you'd be grumpy too if you just look at the computer wrong. It decides to just take the page and make it disappear. Zoom. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I just love this. I love it. Anyway, Serge, you are in the ITCZ. It is not exactly a nice straight line as you would expect west to east. It actually is running, in your area, it's running southwest to northeast. But north of you is where most of the activity is. So if you stay, if you don't go much further north, you might be a little bit happier. It'll be less cloud and possibly less precipitation as well. Winds tomorrow look like 15 to 20 out of the southeast, 15 to 20 out of the southeast, and that's about lunchtime tomorrow. And taking a look at Thursday, if the computer decides to cooperate. Yeah, Thursday the winds are, looks like it's going to be east southeast. So it might be an opportunity to get a little bit more east by traveling to the southeast as opposed to going northeast.
You just said the wind was from the east
Yeah,
southeast.
well, yes, the wind is from the east southeast, but more east in it. But it's possible that if you just do a little bit of tacking and get your boat down as far as you can in terms of latitude goes. I just get a little nervous when I see you're heading more north, but we'll see what happens in the next day or so. There is a lot of activity in the ITCZ at the moment, a lot of thunderstorm activity, and I'm going to let go of this mic and see if it changes the page. Hang on. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Looking at about 5 north on Saturday, and I would say looking at about 150, about 152 to maybe 150 in terms of longitude. There is a lot of activity. There's a lot of thunderstorm activity. But basically, right along the 5 degree line, 5 degree north line, fair amount of rain, and like I say, thunderstorm activity. That's Saturday. That's Saturday the 2nd. That's our time, New Zealand time. So that's the only suggestion I could make is just try to keep yourself as far south as possible over the next couple of days. The ITCZ does look like it's firming up on Saturday and looking like it's more west to east type of arrangement, which is more the typical, I guess you would say, look of the ITCZ. So anyway, the winds above that, the winds that are north of 5 are coming in rather briskly out of the northeast, So that's the reason for trying to stay below 5. I don't think you want to be hitting into that northeast wind in thunderstorms as well. So hope you could hear me. Over.
That's a good synopsis. I think we'll probably follow your advice to stay below 5 for the next few days and see what happens next. So thank you very much. This is very, very useful.
Okay, it's good that you can still hear. And there was something else I meant to pass on to the fleet. Mike from Sailing Vessel Trilogy says hello to you all out there. Good thing about coming in fairly well towards the end of the season is, well, the start of the season, whatever way you want to look at it, is that everyone welcomes you back, don't they? They're ready and waiting for you. All right, this is Gulf Harbour Radio. I haven't got an up-to-date position for Shandon. I'll just see again if Arca might be on frequency. Arca, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, this is Austin. Copy.
Oh, I have got you. I was surprised because you are pretty close. Go ahead with your position. And Ted said to tell you that he's got the VHF on. Go ahead, Ed.
Gulf Harbour, Arca.
Yeah, go ahead. Roger, Roger. I copy you well, Ed. Go ahead.
I've got a light copy on you, but I'm within 60 miles of Nine Pins, 65 miles of Nine Pins. So we'll probably be in the first thing in the morning. We've got westerlies of about 20 knots, maybe 1.5 meter seas, and the sun's out, and we're finally going in the right direction. Over.
Roger, Roger, all copied. I'll get someone to tell you that we copy you. The reason, folks, is that I have an antenna for receive up there, and Arca is only 60 miles away from 9-pin.
Might be rain tonight.
And they will be there first thing in the morning, westerly 20. And I have a message from Ted. However, I assume that they're on course. Yes, indeed you are. So Ted is waiting for you.
Might be rain tonight.
And there will be rain tonight. Stand by. Rubicon, if you can copy me, could you tell Arca that I have copied everything and there will be rain tonight? Over.
Roger, this is Arca. Hi, you guys, and I copied Gulf Harbour 5, over. Okay, great. So you're going to rain tonight, okay? You're right, we need it. We got a little salt to wash off, over. Yeah, I bet you do. It's been a long trip for you.
Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth, and good that you're copying. Yep, Ted is listening on the streaming, so he'll be there to welcome you in, and that sounds good. And yes, you presumably got the, well, I'm not sure that you did, but the tides for tomorrow, Wednesday, 3:23 low tide, 3:23 low tide, and high tide at 9:46 in the morning, 9:46, and you will presumably have the weather somewhat different than it is at the moment. It's good to know that that forecast for today is in fact correct with Arca's report of West 20. It was actually northwest 25 that they reckoned with rough seas, but tomorrow westerly 20 easing to variable 10 in the morning. So that's rather a pleasant way to arrive back home with the morning rain, which will clean the boat off from all that slopping around in the variable swells that you've had. All right, welcome home, Ed. Over.
Thank you very much, and I got a loud and clear copy on you, so your antenna is looking fine, over.
Oh, that's interesting to know. Yeah, I'm still sort of getting used to this nighttime operation and what's good and what's not, but I am surprised that you're getting me pretty well. Okay, we're clear with you, and we won't be talking to you again. Have a good time in Opua. You've missed the Thanksgiving celebrations, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of folk you know there. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. Is there anybody else with anything? Yeah, go ahead, Ed.
There's two boats out here, Sea Rose and Second Sun. Did they call in tonight? I told them about you.
No, and I just was looking up Sea Rose. They're doing pretty well, actually. Sea Rose at the moment are, according to the AIS, are doing 7.4 with that wind on a course of 188, and their position at the moment is 3-4. Well, this is 8 minutes ago. I better be precise. Sea Rose is at 3430 and 17457. So not too far away from you at all. So you'll be having a chat on the customs dock. Over.
Roger, yeah, they're in for Marston Cove, and Second Sun, the other boat behind me, is going into Opua. He's moving pretty fast. He should be catching me near my position, especially by tomorrow morning, over.
Yeah, I'm having a look. I don't see him on the AIS, so yeah, there's no Second Sun. He's a bit of a ghost ship like you. You should get one of these Chinese. I bought because our Vespa AIS cracked out and it was way too expensive to replace. So I bought one of these Chinese. They're actually buoy or fishing net type markers, and it works really well. It's just it sends out a signal. It doesn't take one in, but yeah, it's really quite useful for passage making. good safety measure. But no, I don't see anything of second sun. So there you go. All right, but we will do one more call in case second sun or sea rose are on frequency. Is anybody there? There was somebody there, but it's quite light. Try again.
That was second sun, Patricia.
Oh, good. Second sun. Go ahead with your position because I do not see you, and Arca can copy you, but I'll try as well. Second sun, go ahead with your position. Over. Yeah, I copied you pretty well. 3328 south, 17501 east, and I presume you've got similar conditions to Arca with that westerly 20. What is your course and speed? Over.
Our course is 5, our speed is 5, and we're in a
I missed the last comment, but your course is 185 true, 5.3. So what is your time of arrival? Over.
I'm expecting we'll get to the North Shore in the evening tomorrow, probably, after hours.
Okay, hopefully Ed on Arca heard that because I'm struggling a little bit here. All right, well, nice to talk to you at this last stage. And, yep, have a good arrival tomorrow. That wind is definitely going to drop. So that will make it pleasant. Might even see the dolphins. Ed, did you copy over?
Roger, yeah, they were doing 185 at 5.3 knots and expect arrival on the quarantine dock tomorrow evening after hours. Over.
Roger that, after hours. So a nice restful night on the quarantine dock and then a check-in on Thursday. So that'll be good. So tomorrow evening, the high tide is at 21:59. This is local time, 2159 local time, and low tide, of course, 1553 tomorrow. So nice to come in with the tide and good timing, and then a good rest before the quarantine. I quite like that arrangement because it gives you a chance to tidy the boat, have a good sleep, and be ready with a good trip for the Q people. All right, thanks Ed for the help, and welcome to Second Sun. Okay, is there anybody else?
Just one quick question, Patricia. I have an AIS and it's just a box, but the green light is on like I'm transmitting. Do you see me at all?
No, haven't seen you at all on this trip. Over.
Well, so the green light works on the AIS, maybe nothing else does.
Oh, well, we know where you are because you've reported it on the radio, so that's good. But yeah, no, there hasn't been any signal from you at all. Well, I'm in marine traffic, but it should pick up everything, but absolutely nothing from Arca. So that'll give you a little job to put on your list for the next few days. Over.
Oh, that's what I need, really. My list is already pages long. Okay, well, thank you for that, and we'll give you a shout on the radio, let you know we're in.
Yep. Okay. Thank you very much. And yeah, just what we talked about on the net this morning on the ham net, and I don't know if anybody out there has got these electronic anti-foul devices, but evidently they are quite popular in Australia, and I've never heard of them here. But if anybody has an electronic anti-foul device with a transducer attached to your hull and whatever other gizmo it does, evidently they do work. It sort of sounded like something that was a good idea and maybe didn't work. J-Car here were meant to have them, but because they didn't sell, they discontinued them and they don't have any in stock And I suggested to them that the reason they didn't sell was probably because nobody knew that they had them. But anyway, they do exist and they are quite popular in Australia. And I have written to Somerset, who some of you might know. They evidently have them, and they reckon that they work on Opua barnacles. So Andy on Somerset is an electronic engineer or electrical engineer, and so he should know the truth from the hype. But if anyone has any experience with electronic anti-fouling devices, do let us know, because bottom paint is getting really expensive. Cheers all, have a good night, and we'll be back again tomorrow. This is Gulf Harbour Radio Clear, the frequency is yours. Oh, there's Zumax still in Wahine. Oh, I like Wahine. Hi, Anna. Hi, Paolo. Cheers. Don't tell us what the temperature's like.